All right, guys, before we get into today's video, I want to take a quick minute to congratulate Steve from Protected Dad Pranks for hitting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. A tremendous feat. The cool thing about it is when you hit 100,000 subscribers, you get a plaque from YouTube. Let's see that thing. Ooh, that's pretty nice. I've never had a chance to see one in person. Most people haven't had a chance to see one in person. To me, this is something that most YouTubers do not accomplish, so it is something to be very, proud of. Anyway, I want to say congratulations, man.
Hey,
I've had a lot of fun making some videos with you, and we always have a great time. So anyway, if you haven't already followed Steve, go follow him. There's going to be a link in the description below. Protected Dad Pranks on YouTube.
Cool.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, guys, welcome back to Front Seat Driver. There's a video that I promised everybody several months ago. Never happened, but it is happening today. I'm here with Steve from Protected Dad Pranks, and we are going to do a full walk around of his car when he bought it. And I'm going to leave a link to the video where he first got this car. But man, it is a base model C7 Stingray. He's done 31 various upgrades and modifications to this car. It is a knockout, but I'm going to go through it with him and I'm going to let him tell you about every single modification he's done. So let's get started with that right now.
Before we begin, I'm going to answer one question. Why I didn't get a Z06 in the first place? Well, this is a 2019, and when my wife surprised me with it, it was middle of the production year. So finding certain models was very hard, and my number one thing I had to have was a red manual. It didn't matter if it was a Z06 automatic, I had to have that red manual. So my wife knew that, so she got me the red manual, and actually we live in Dallas-Fort Worth, and they're literally, I checked after she showed me this car, there wasn't a red manual anywhere for like 500 miles. So that was the reason why I got it. Number two, why not make the car yourself? Like make it its own. Like I love the fact that I drive a car, I pull up and people can see that my car is my car, not another Z06 and another Z06. In fact, I just ordered a C8. And you know what I ordered? A base model, red with black leather interior. No bells, no whistles, because I'm gonna do to that car what I did to this car. So to begin, the very first mod I did was the same thing I would do to every single car, no matter if it was a Corvette, and that is tint the windows. My windows are tinted 5 in the rear and 15 on the front. And it used to be 18 on the front, but it was just too bright in this Texas sun, so I went to 15. So there's only one performance mod I've done to the engine, and that was installing the AFE Power cold air intake. And what I love about the AFE Power cold air intake is that it does give extra performance, but I love to hear that sucking sound when you put on the gas pedal. And people often ask me, how do you keep your engine so clean? Well, the one thing I use is hyperdressing from Meguiar's. This stuff is phenomenal. When it comes to the entire car in general, there's two things I did. I installed this GM Stinger stripe, and then after about a month of driving, I started knowing little bitty nicks on the front, so I knew I had to have this car expelled. So I went to Cody Kiter at New Image Detail in Fort Worth, Texas, and he did a full front clip of expel, and then he ceramic coated this entire car. And when you look at this car, as shiny as it is, it's over 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
And it looks like it just came out of the showroom. Now, while we're on the subject of protection, one of the best things you can do to protect your car and the cars that are behind you is installing these rock guards, and they're available from ACScomposite.com.
Yes, and if you remember, we did a video a while back where my car threw rocks all over Steve's. So you also want to maybe consider getting the rear rock guard, because these tires do stick outside of the wheel well a bit, and they can throw rocks on the guys behind you. And if you go out with your friends a lot driving, you definitely don't want to be scuffing up their car because you don't have protection for them.
One of the biggest changes that I saw come on this car is when I changed these stock silver wheels to these black Z06 style wheels. They made a major difference. And in fact, here's something I didn't tell anybody before. I actually was going to do chrome out this whole car, but when I started hanging out with the vet community, I realized chrome is pretty outdated compared to what's going on now. So I blacked out the wheels. The next thing you know, I'm blacking out everything.
Yep. And these wheels actually came from Corvette World.
Yes, Corvette World hooked me up. Now when we're looking at the front of the car, there's a lot of mods, and all these mods are available at ACScomposite.com. The very first thing is these black side marker lights. Then the Stage 3 front splitter, and then I replaced all the chrome badging with black carbon flash badging all the way around the car. Not to mention, I actually removed the little Stingray off the side of the car, and that's not because I don't want it to look like a Stingray. I just feel like it's a cleaner look.
Yes, absolutely cleaner.
And then we installed the Stage 3 front splitter, along with the video I just put out earlier. There is actually scrape armor under this car. And the #1 mod on this entire car that I get talked about no matter what. If I show up at a car show, everybody wants to talk about this one mod. And that's the 5.1 grill, available at acscomposite.com. And to my knowledge, I'm the only one in this area for sure that has it, because I haven't seen anybody. But this just made it such an aggressive looking front end. Not to mention, look at how much air gets into this car now.
Yeah, because the other one looked like somebody had a what do you call it? Not braces.
15-year-old retainer.
Retainer, exactly. It has that look of a retainer. Yeah. I was never a fan.
So going down the side of the car, I installed the ACS Composite Stage 2 rockers. And then this mod, which I know is Jason's favorite.
Yes.
It's the upper quarter panel vent, and that's available at ACS Composite. And then this mod, the most insane mod that we've ever did, is do a Z06 style vent scoop, and these are functional. There's a video that we just finished, and it'll be linked down in the description, of the day that Jason and I went and had these done, where we cut an entire hole in the side of this car. And mind you, these are functional. There's actually Z06 vent ductwork that goes in and helps cool down these brakes, because I was not going to have that AutoZone, kind of stick on stuff and get roasted by somebody on YouTube. Absolutely not.
And I will say, like you said, this part right here, definitely one of my favorites. One of the things that I never really liked about the standard base Stingray is just this being flat. It stands out. It doesn't look like it should be there, but with this little cover to help direct the air in, I think it makes such a huge difference.
Now we're at the rear of the car. I installed a Stage 2 spoiler from ACS Composite. And I also, like I said before, here's the replacement badging, black carbon flash versus the chrome one. And then installed GM factory white Z06 taillights. Yeah. And then the one thing that GM has messed up from the start is having these rear diffuser fins. These are available at acscomposite.com. And if you have a C7 Corvette, you absolutely have to have one of these, because that missing gap just looks terrible.
I agree, 100%. My favorite mod, honestly, from ACS.
Yes. And then we have also from ACS, we have rear fascia extensions.
Which, I'll be honest with you, on your car, I thought made a huge difference, because it really widens the back end of a Stingray, which I think it needs.
Yes. And then while we're back here, this is the #1 mod that I think made the biggest difference. This is a Corsa Extreme, and it is fantastic. Mine didn't have the what is the
MPP?
MP, yeah, I didn't have that. So this made a huge difference, and Jason will tell you it is loud as hell.
Very much, very loud.
And it gets a lot of attention.
Yes, it does.
Now when we get to the interior, and I don't know if you noticed it, but the C7 Corvette, I changed out the interior rear cargo lights, as well as the license plate light, with white LEDs. These are more of a yellow tone, and they just look terrible. Yeah. The white LEDs on the license plate made a major difference. And while we're back here, you can kind of start to see, I'm gonna take the roof off in a minute, but this is the rear of the ACS Composite rear waterfall, and it just makes it look so aggressive looking when you have the top off.
So Steve is taking the roof off of his Corvette, and this is the way Steve likes to do it. We do it a little bit different. He leaves his door open and just pops out. I'll show you how I do mine in a different video. But this thing weighs about 12 pounds, so really it's good for anybody to be able to remove.
So here's the ACS Composite waterfall from the front view. Has a matching carbon flash emblem. And then right here, if you notice, one mod I did is I removed the emergency airbag. And to do that, I just used a hair dryer along with a little bit of Goo Gone and just slowly peeled it off, because I can't stand that standing there.
That's a mod I need to do to my car, fast. I was looking at that the other day.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be a good video.
Amen.
A couple of performance mods that has really made a difference in this car is, first, I changed out the stock shifter with the MGW shifter, and it's a short shifter, and that made a huge difference.
Yeah.
I mean, and you also can see that I changed out that Stingray badge with a Corvette racing badge. But here you go. Here's one huge different. I gotta give a shout out to my sponsor, Pedal Commander. And if you don't have a Pedal Commander in your C7 Corvette, you need to get one. You would be shocked at how big a difference this makes. This made a huge difference. I swapped out the original OEM dash with a carbon fiber dash. This is straight up from the factory GM. Also has the matching steering wheel insert, along with the red matching steering wheel paddle shifters or rev match pitch switches here in the manual. And the last thing I did in here, I put a blend mount for my radar detector. That was a big difference to get all those cords out of the way, rocking the Uniden R7, and that thing has never let me down.
So the last thing that Steve did that we hadn't actually talked about was he did the Pro Clip phone mount in here, which I know he loves, and I really need to utilize getting something like that very soon because I'm tired of holding my phone or trying to find it when I'm driving around. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. 31 mods to Steve's car. That is a lot. So anyway, that car looks amazing every time I see it. It might be cleaner than some of the dinner plates I eat off of at home. But anyway, it looks great. Again, go follow him, Protective Dad Pranks. Congratulations to him again, one more time, 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Have a great week. Peace.
Peace.